Okay, so in the last tutorial, we had just placed this brown image, um, and I took my text and I placed it up here. And I was just saying that if you can't see the text, that means that the text menu navigation bar is behind the brown piece of artwork. So the way we get around that is we do the pull down menu, object, and we would bring to front. Let me just make sure I'm clicking on the right thing here. Oh, I'm not. Okay. So if I click on my text and I object, whoops, make sure I'm clicked on my text, and I object, very strange here. Okay, arrange. I'm gonna send it backwards. So I took my text, my my brown bar, and I right clicked on it and I went to arrange and I sent it backwards. So it'll send it back one layer. So now you'll notice you could see your text, you could see the artwork, you can shift click and move them both at the same time to about this area. Okay, and then I will resize my navigation text bar to fit the width of this brown brown bar. So this is where I'm at right now. And I can preview my site at this point. So File, Preview Site in browser. And this is where I'm at. I am at my home page. You'll notice this is my home page, so that's why it's staying on. But if I highlight over any of the other ones, it'll highlight it as well. Again, under products, I'd get my pull down as well. Okay, and again, I'm going to save my file often. File, save site as. I'm going to do my initials, KKTutorial, save. Okay, so the next step is we're going to look at the states. Okay, we talked briefly about states. States are the appearance of a rectangle, a text frame, or an image frame on a website. States change with user interaction. We know all of this. Click twice on the text you want, and you can change on the menu bar to see what the state is. The 4 different states are normal, rollover, mouse over, and mouse down and active. So we're going to add a color change to the active state, and we're going to do the same steps for the drop-down menu items. So I'm going to go to my navigation bar. I'm going to double click on one, and then I'm going to go under Window. Make sure I have my states open. If I don't, that's where I can access it. So Window, pull down to States. Okay, it will give me a bar. And again, it'll show me normal, rollover, mouse down, and active. So what we said we wanted to apply it to is the active state. So again, I will go to my active state, and I'm going to fill my active with just a color. So let's see what it did. Okay, so that wasn't the right. Okay, so notice how it filled the background. So if I go to text, make sure I have text normal, I can change it to that orange. But I have to be careful. Okay, see I did it too much. Okay, so normal. That's how you really have to pay attention to the top left. This is the tricky part. Okay. So I'm going to trash what I have here and make sure my active state is the only thing that changes color. So that when I look back in my states, the only thing I see color added to is the active state. So if I preview at this point, just to look and to make sure when I'm, whoops, it's not working. Okay, so this is why we need to preview. Okay, so my active is red. Okay, so I'm going to save, see if maybe that had something to do with it. So I'm going to preview my page in browser and let's see if that's affected. So if I hold this down, it's still not changing color, so there's definitely something wrong here. Okay. Hmm. You also do the same thing to the drop-down menu items. So if you click on the drop-down menu items, same thing, it gives you another states. So I am going to click on my active state and adjust what they look like as well. Okay, just making sure it's applying here. Okay, I'm going to save, and I am going to view, preview in browser, see if I'll have any better look. Okay. Okay, so when I'm on the products page, it does highlight my products and it highlights one of the drop downs. I believe I need to apply the same formatting to the other drop down. When I click on each page, it highlights my active state being that red color, which is what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to definitely make sure that works. Okay. So the only thing I do need to do is apply the same thing on this bar. So the active was here. So active should be like this, normal. Was white, roll over, where's the white? And then the active was the same thing. Okay, I'm going to save my file. Again, I'm going to preview it and make sure that works as well. Okay, so now this is working. My drop down. See, it's a little tricky to figure it out, especially the drop down area. And then active should look like this. Sorry, I'm wondering if that's why. Active area. Okay. So let's take a look now. File, preview page in browser. Being a little quirky there. Okay, so sometimes it is the browser you're using also. So we'll look into that depending on what your browser is doing. Looks like it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. Okay. So I'll have to work that out. So what I am going to do is copy and paste the navigation bar, just the text portion of it. So I'm going to click on the text portion. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to right click and paste so that I get another navigation bar. And I'm going to take it and drag it to the bottom of my page below the white text area. So I am going to click and make it a footer. So if I drag it to the bottom and then I click the word footer up here, that check mark, it allows me to put my text underneath in the footer area. Remember, we designated this with this guide as the footer area. So I'm able to put my text down there. So it's hard to read at this point. So I might change the color. Let me change it to like a gray color so that I can read it better. Maybe even a black or a gray color. And I might also give it a little bit of a color because I'm concerned about the readability of it. Sometimes you could do something like that, or whatever you need to do to make it more legible. But again, by us clicking on it and then clicking this, checking that it's a footer, it allowed me to put it in the footer area. And it told Muse that it is a footer. Okay. No, I think I am going to take that background off of it. I don't want it to be so prevalent. It is a footer. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my planning mode, and I am going to create another master page. I can either click to the right